Thank you very much, Linda. As you just said, my name is Brian Bii, the Youth Champions of Change Coordinator, Mombasa County. I'm the Executive Director and the Dexterous Youth Organization. And in a nutshell, Brian Bii is a born-again Christian, someone who is not ashamed of the gospel. And what I do with a lot of passion is delivering love, change, and hope. Yes, so that is Brian Bii.
Karibu sana Brian Bii. You look very handsome today morning. I don't know what you've been doing to yourself. Usitatupatia siri ama hiyo ni siri yako peke yako, unataka kung'ara peke yako, but you look so handsome today, and they can attest to that because they are seeing you as well.
Lotion, yeah, versions that we believe.
Aish, you can do that. Hawezi fanya hivyo. But we are excited to have you in the studio kabisa, and we are happy, and we know that from this conversation it's gonna come out something great and something good. Just to ask you to start off with some little teaser, because I don't want this room to feel hot on you. I don't want the room to feel hot. So just tell us this morning, what is the song that you listened to this morning and why? Or you didn't listen to any song?
A song is something that lightens up the day, as you also want us to lighten up the room. And the song that I actually listened to almost 3 songs. The first one was I'm a Soldier.
Okay.
I wish I had a good voice. I would have given you a hymn of what I listened to. Yeah, but I'm a soldier in the battlefield. When Jesus calls my name, I will answer 1,000,000 times. So that was the first one I listened to. The other song was Shukrani.
Okay.
Just giving thanks to God. We are awake, we are alive, we are healthy, we are strong. All our body parts are functioning as we expect them to, and we don't take that for granted.
Yeah.
So I listened to I'm a Soldier, Shukrani, and a song by Frank Mtakatifu. Hope this won't change into a service.
Okay.
Frank Mtakatifu, the song that he says, Sitaabudu miungu mingine. Yes.
Okay, sawa. That's good, and I feel like it's good to start your day with God. Just to start off with some question, and I believe that you are a youth coordinator and you deal so much with empowering the youth, right? And you have a very close relationship with the SSC, Kisauni, I believe that.
Nyali.
Yeah, Nyali.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. But just to start off, I would want you to really tell us the definition of empowerment to you, especially concerning the youth, and what you do to promote that.
In accordance to my understanding of youth empowerment, is meaningfully engaging the current youth that we have within our country, and to narrow it down within Mombasa County, in all the 6 sub-counties. It's more of having these youths in the spaces that they should be, so that they can be able to see who they are and know how great they can become if they utilize the resources that are within their environments and capitalize on the opportunities that are available for them.
Okay.
Yes. That is youth empowerment, just creating that sense of belonging to the youth and making them understand that there's something they can do more with their lives, with their talents, with their capabilities, to make sure that they are answering the questions this world is asking.
Okay. And according to you, and just also to let you know that some of the listeners are asking to at least increase your voice. Wanataka kukusikia loud and clear. Yeah, so if you just come close to the microphone. Yeah, so and how, according to you, as a youth coordinator, do you promote the youth empowerment?
The number one thing as a youth coordinator that I do is make sure that information is trickled down to that youth within the kijiji, within the mtaa, that really needs this information passed to him. So as a youth coordinator within the 6 sub-counties, we have other coordinators, we have other youth champions of change, and whenever information about opportunities for the youths are passed to us from the ministry, we trickle down and make sure we mainstream that same information mpaka ifikie yule kijana pale mtaani. So that is the number one thing that we do. Make sure that the youth is well informed with the opportunities that are available for them to partake in.
Okay. And I believe working with young people is not an easy thing. I believe that. There's a lot of, expectation, and some young people do not take these things seriously. So just to ask you, how have you ever faced challenges while doing whatever you do, especially promoting empowerment of the youth, and what have you done when you got into that situation? Are there any challenges, or are there anything that you faced, in line with whatever you do as a youth coordinator?
Yeah, the challenges are there. One thing that speaks volume is the OA mentality that the current youths have. Youths want to be spoon-fed. Youths want the golden platter. But we are here to remind them that you have to work for your meal. You have to work for your clothing. You have to work for your enjoyment. Waswahili wa Tanzania walituambia starehe gharama. But the current youths have a lot of expectations, but they don't want to toil. They just want the enjoyment part.
Yeah.
So the main challenge is convincing these particular youths and make them understand that you need to build on your capacity for you to be able to enjoy the opportunities that are available. Siwezi kukutafutia information, bado ni kuapply ile kazi na nikufanyia ile kazi. Wewe ndio unafaa ufanye ile kazi. But sasa the opportunities we have, unfortunately, the youths are waiting to be spoon-fed on everything.
Okay.
All they do is lament. But we are here to tell them that for you to make it in life, you have to put in the work. You have to trust the process, give it your all, stay dedicated, stay committed, and everything will fall into place.
Yeah. Okay. And I don't know if you live in Kenya, because you might not be living in Kenya, you might be just, you might have landed just from Europe, we don't know. But if you live in Kenya, there has been a trend going on social media with this lady called She's Kemonto. And there was so many confession of young people, intentionally infecting other people with HIV, right? And looking at you and how best you work on that area of, facilitating and teaching young people on HIV prevention, right?
Right.
And I feel like this is a conversation that is needed right now, considering that on that confession, young people were really doing that intentionally, and they didn't even care about the consequences and what might come after. And some of them were not infected, but they were not careful of how they carry themselves, to say the same. And they were confessing that for them it's just God and whatever happens. So as a person who really advocate and who really champion on HIV prevention, what do you think is the reason as to why there is so much ignorance when it comes to youth and HIV prevention? First, did you see that confession?
Yes, I saw the trend.
Yeah.
But it's not a shock to me.
Okay.
It's not a shock to me that these things are happening. And the pain that I have is seeing the moral decay that we have in our current generation. Seeing babies, taking care of babies as mothers.
Yes.
Seeing young people who don't know how to bring up a child, actually bringing up a child. I happen to be a facilitator on matters to do with sexual reproductive health and rights, talking of early pregnancies and unwanted pregnancies, newly infection. And during these sessions, one thing we also talk about is intergenerational sex, transactional sex, multiple sexual partners, and correct and consistent use of condom. Now, when you're giving these sessions, we want the youths out there to have an understanding of the repercussions that they are to face when they engage in these kind of immoralities
Yes.
without having an understanding of what next, what
Repercussion.
happens if I engage in this particular act.
Mhm.
Now, for one, like whatever Kemunto was trying to say, one, maybe she was misused, maybe she was a victim to someone, and she decided, with the rage that I have inside me, with this heart that I have, let me now retaliate and now take this to another level. That is why she did whatever she did.
Yes.
But to the many girls outside there listening to me out right now, I would say abstaining from sex does not deny you of the fun and the enjoyment life has to offer. This goes to both genders, male and female. Me, kwa sessions zangu, most of the time I tell the young girls, because I speak mostly to 15 to 24 years old girls, and I tell them, hii kitu si bundles, ni subscribe itaisha 12 iko. See daily MBs that after 1 week it expire. Okay. Why the hurry? Why the hurry? Let us take care of ourselves. Let us have a meaningful life. Let us give sex the respect God gave it. Let us live a life that is worth living. Because the moment we rush to things, we end up wasting ourselves, wasting the lives of others, and having a history that cannot be spoken to the lives of other people. Okay. Take, for example, the life of Kemunto right now. Now, who will probably stand and give that history as a good example? Because currently we are the ones writing the history that will be read in the years to come right now.
So whatever I'm getting from your answer is, and I think you have mentioned that most of these young people, from the question that I asked, what might be the reason as to why they're doing that. So one of the answer that I've gotten from your whatever you're saying is that most of them, it was mainly for revenge.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're doing that intentionally because they were hurted, and I feel like this really connects a lot with mental health, because once you get to know that you have this infection, if you're not taken in, if you do not take the right precaution, and having someone to talk to you, having someone to direct you on what to do, then it leads to having depression and all that, and you end up wanting to make others feel the same way you feel. And so do you think during this time, once someone gets to understand or to know that they are infected with HIV, mental health becomes an issue as well?
Yes, it does. You see, once your mental health is perturbed or disturbed, you're not in the right position to make a corrective or informed decision. And that is why I would say Kemunto's decision was not well informed. It was ill informed, because she just wanted to do it out of the rage and the anger that was in her. But if she was mentally stable, the right thing for her to do was to look for a counselor, or look for someone she trusts, so that she can experience what we call disclosure. So that after disclosure, after laying out all this heart that is in you and speaking it out to a specific individual who understands you, who tries to feel what you felt, though no one can feel what you feel because you're the one who experienced the pain. But once you experience disclosure, it's more of like you're building on your mental stability. You're giving yourselves the chance to be able to make the right decision at a calm point of view. So to the young girl, God forbid, to anyone else who might go through or who might become a victim of such a case, my number one advice would be for someone you can talk to, open up, experience disclosure, then look for better ways to enhance your life.
Yeah. I really agree with whatever you are saying. And just to also correct out there is that it's so many people who had the confession on his Instagram, and he shared whatever people were confessing with us. na kuuliza tu let me just also do this in both languages for people to, to feel at home. Kuuliza tu, you feel like as a person mwenye anafanya hizi mambo za facilitation na train young people kwa mambo ya HIV, unadhani ni mambo gani ambayo inafanya mpaka young people feel stigmatized, and have you gotten to that point where umepatana na mtu ambaye yuko stigmatized? Because nadhani hiyo pia ni reason moja kubwa ya watu kama hao infect others intentionally, ni kwa sababu maybe walikuwa stigmatized, walifanya wakahisi kama si watu, and so walikuwa wanataka kulipiza na kusema kwamba okay, so mimi si mtu, tutakuwa wote sisi si watu, so I want you to feel my pain kwa kukuambukiza. And also kwa hiyo confession ambayo nilikuwa tunaona pale, you see most of these young people, some of the ladies, they were saying si ati mimi nilikuwa nataka kuambukiza watu, but you go out with these men and you tell them to use to prevent themselves. Na wanasema no, you are so beautiful for me to go with the condom, right? Na wanasema so akisema hivyo mimi nani kukataa, ende nani, right? So anajitoa makosa kwamba mimi sina makosa, nilishamwambia lakini mwenyewe akakataa. Sasa swali langu ni, kwa kazi ambayo unafanya, hizi mambo za stigmatization unazipata? Na je, ukizipata ni vipi unazizungumzia, ama ni vipi unasaidia wale watu ambao wamepatikana katika ile hali?
Asante kwa kurudisha kwa Kiswahili. Karne hii unyanyapaa ni kitu ambayo hatufai kuwa tunazungumzia katika jamii. Unyanyapaa umewafanya wengi wakafa kwa kujizuia kuzungumza. Now, ni vyema watu ama wasichana katika jamii kujua kwamba ni vizuri kuyazungumza yale ambayo wanapitia kila siku. That said, a young girl who has experienced stigmatization is very vulnerable to more harm than a young girl who has been a victim but was not stigmatized.
Okay.
So our communities, our societies need to understand that we cannot stigmatize our victims of either rape, gender-based violence, or harm of any kind. But instead, let us embrace one another. It is not normal for us to start stigmatizing someone who has been hurt. But we should create that safe space for them to feel like, yes, it has happened, but I still have a life to live. I'm not the first one that this has happened to. There are still better ways of making a move and being impactful in life. And these particular individuals, after eroding the cell of stigmatization, they end up becoming champions. They end up speaking out and becoming champions who help do peer-to-peer sessions. Because when you're talking to someone who has experienced almost exactly what you experienced, it makes it easier for you to overcome stigmatization. Have I answered your question? Am I still want me to feed you more?
You can feed more if you have. You can feed more if you have. But I really understand what you're saying, and one thing ambayo inatoka clear ni kwamba we need to stop stigmatization, and that's why I love some of these organizations that are doing that kwa kuchukua jukumu la kusimama na watu kama wale. You know, I have seen organizations like Dream Achievers with organization doing that, and different organizations, and I believe that your organization is also on the forefront of doing that, na kuhakikisha kwamba unyanyapaa ama stigmatization haiko kwenye jamii, kwa sababu hakuna mtu yote ambaye angetaka kupatikana hilo ugonjwa unless unafanya intentionally. Unapata kuna watu wengine ambao walipata hilo ugonjwa kwa kutotaka, na sio lazima mtu akawa amepata ugonjwa kupitia ngono. ama kupitia hizo intercourse. Kuna wengine wamepata kupitia maybe walizaliwa vile, ama labda through accident, unapata kulikuwa kuna ajali na zile damu kusambaa, kushikana, unapata mtu amekuwa infected. So kama jamii tunafaa tuhimizwe ama tuhimizane kwamba mtu anapopatikana na gonjwa kama hilo si mwisho wa maisha, na isikuwe ni sababu ya kutaka wenzako pia waumie. Just moving forward, and as I said earlier kwamba wewe ni mtu ambaye unafanya kazi karibu sana na ECC Wanyali, na ningependa tu utueleze ama utujulishe sisi watu ambao labda hatujui maana kwanza ya ECC ni nani na ni kazi gani ambao unafanya na yeye huko Nyali.
Thank you very much, Linda. Yes, I do work closely with the ACC because the structure that I represent is under the national government of Kenya, not the Mombasa County government. And that is why we happen to be working closely with the county commissioner, trickling down to the assistant county commissioner, which is the ACC, the chiefs, and the youth officers within the State Department of Youth Affairs in Mombasa County. So what we do is put more emphasis on the opportunities that the national government has for the youths. The close relationship with the ACC and the Ngao team in general places us at that point where we can easily disseminate information to the youths. And these informations are more on the Youth Empowerment Development Fund, the national government policies that concern the youths, because there are a lot of strategies that our very able president is trying to put in place to make sure that our youths are well catered for and capacitated, to make sure that in the near future we won't be having quacks working for us, but we'll have well-informed, well-capacitated, well-trained individuals taking place in the leadership space and the working industry as well. So in collaboration with the ACC and the Ngao team, we do the Chief Baraza talks. We make sure we align what the national government wants, what the national government is implementing, mainly for the youths. And that is why we take it up from there and make sure our fellow youths, the youth that sisi sasa tunaongoza, wanafikiwa na ule ujumbe. So kazi ya ICC ni kutupatia information ambayo national government iko nayo, then sisi tuna disseminate to our fellow youths. While PSCC, we now bridge the gap. We bring the information the youths have, the needs, the wants, na yale malalamishi yote wako nayo. Then we give that report to the youth officers. The youth officers in return write proposals on sisi kama youth officers of Mombasa, these are the likes for our youths, and this is what we would like to be done for the youth of Mombasa. So that is what happens. So
I believe hiyo whatever unafanya na ACC ina connect na empowerment of the youth.
Yes.
Sawa. And I believe nimesikia kwamba umemention things to do with Chief Barazas. Now, just to give a credit to most of the organization, there is this thing where so many organizations are using barazas, call it male barazas, chief barazas, to make sure they spread the messages to the young people and to the community. And I believe, just to ask you, you'll correct me, is that these chief barazas are not just for the wazees and finishing up there, because this is a complaint that most of the young people have, that we sit on the chief barazas and all these barazas, but then the information is not trickled down to them, or they are not part of the conversation, right? And sometimes they do send people like you as their representative, but the message is not taken down to them, or whatever is given to them is not taken to them. So these chiefs and this prominent person sitting on the table are the one benefiting. And how do you make sure that doesn't happen on your watch?
These are the norms we are trying to change. We are moving out of the days when mikutano ilikuwa ni ya wazee peke yake. We need to understand that the youths are also meaningfully engaged. The youths are also called upon to actively participate on matters within their communities or the societies. So whenever we have the chief barazas, that is why we are put in place. We have this structure of Mombasa Youth Champions of Change in place to make sure that these youths are also engaged fully and make sure that whatever is done for the youths is for the youths, because say we have the slogan, if it, nothing for us if not with us. So within the chief barazas, the youths are welcomed. The youths are called upon to actively participate, because when you're doing youth advocacy, we want youths to be involved. We want youths to be on the dinner table. And there is a platform where I was speaking and I said, we don't necessarily want to be in the dinner table. We don't want to be placed as tick boxes that we engage with these youth. They came. Sisi ni kusign participants kuonyesha tulikuwa. We also want to be heard. We are raising voices and making the necessary noise that needs to be listened to, adhered to, and our proposals to be implemented as our desires.
Yes, because I think that is the most important thing. Because at the end of the day, if you're doing things for someone, they need to be on the forefront and be the people who are benefiting for that out of that thing. So sawa, just to read on the comments that people are sending in, and we can see on our Facebook, Wendy Saru saying tune in 100%. Safe Jira anasema tuko ndani, asante sana mkubwa. And Enos Opio anasema great conversation. And Wendy Saru is also saying powerful conversation. Thank you for tuning in. And I also have some good messages on our inbox. Kuna mmoja anasema hapa, anasema na tune in kutoka Likoni. Na ninafuatilia show vizuri and napata maelezo mazuri kutoka kwa Bwana Bii. Yeah, thank you sana. Kuna mmoja anasema mimi naitwa this name. Okay. Anasema mimi naitwa Amnida. Okay, sawa. Amnida anasema anasikiza na fuatilia show kwa karibu, maelekezo mazuri, good conversation. And we are happy to have you on the show. Thank you for tuning in. You can as well reach us on our number 0790204487, 0790204487, to give us your opinion and also to call and give your contribution on the matters that we are talking about. And just to let you know whatever is going on today, as a radio station, we have good things planned for you. We are giving you good information on what is trending and what is going on. And yesterday we had some good things going on in the ground. Tukiwa tuko kule Mtwapa, sehemu zinaitwa Kedongo Majaoni, tulikuwa tunapanda miti, na sisi kama team ya Dio Radio tulikuwa tuko pale kwenye ground kuhakikisha kwamba yale yanayosemwa si kusemwa tu, lakini pia tunafanya kwa vitendo, na tuliwaletea vitu vizuri ambazo tuko nazo kwenye habari zetu. Tune into our news to get the information on what happened down at Kadengo Majaoni. There was so much good things going on. I sijui kama nimekosea, lakini I know that is the right name, Kadengo Majaoni. So asanteni sana, and we know that at the end of the day, this tree planting is for our own benefit. We want to plant trees and to make sure that in the next coming years that tutakuwa na drought, tutakuwa na mvua ya kutosha, tusikose chakula. And something else that has been going on is that we have had some good conversation going on this morning with our presenter Kazungu, talking about what is trending on the headlines. If you missed it, do not miss tomorrow morning. Every morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Sorry. So tune in to get to know what's going on in Kenya today, every morning. Thank you sana Bwana Bii, and just to continue, I'll also want you to take us through some few things not according, but in line with your work. Just to take us through what impact do you see yourself, achieving? What impact do you see yourself achieving as a person who is working for the youth and with the youth? Yes, just take us through that. The impact that you feel as a person you are going to achieve as you work with the youth. For the youth.
Number one, we want a youth that are well skilled. I as a person, I'm looking forward to youths that are employable. Tukiongelea youth empowerment, nataka nione youth who is employable. Siwezi kukuwa na kuempower na huwezi kuwa employed. So first we have to work on the soft skills of us as youths. Huwezi kuwa unaitwa interview and you don't know what are the dressing codes of going to an interview. Huwezi kuwa unaitiwa kazi and you don't know how to pitch yourself. There are people who go to an interview and they ask the normal question that everyone asks, what is your name? Who are you? And people fail to give that answer adequately. So first is on capacitating these youths and making them be at a place where they are employable. Making an individual understand who they are and what is expected of them in their current generation. You as a youth out there listening to me, how vast are you with the skills that you have? And are you at a place where you can monetize your talent? Are you at a place where you can monetize the hand-gifted capabilities that you have? You are a baker. Wewe ni msichana unaweza paka piko. Wewe ni mtu unaweza shona. You are a boy there who is gifted when it comes to plumbing, gifted when it comes to masonry. How well are you versed with the knowledge of entrepreneurship? And how best can you change your talent into money? So people need to understand how can they monetize the gifts that they have. Sai, through the SOS Foundation here in Mombasa, tuko na kitu inaitwa vijana na skills. And this is something that implemented SOS in collaboration with the State Department of Youth Affairs, Mombasa, where we are recruiting young caregivers to be taken through trainings. Different vocational trainings. Some people are choosing plumbing, some people are choosing event planning, others are choosing masonry, others are deciding to become barbers, others are becoming salonists. Now, after these particular trainings, these particular youths wanakuwa attached to master craftsmen, where they can continue working on their skills and perfecting what they learned. So Nona, this is a great improvement. We are closing that bridge where we had youths that didn't know what to do with their talents. Some didn't have hand skills that they could work on, but say opportunities are there for them to be grasped by these particular youths. So mainly ni kijana jihusishe juu mambo ambayo yamewekwa pale nje yako tayari yanakungojea wewe kujihusisha. Usipojihusisha, wakukuhusisha atahusisha yule ambaye anajua.
Kweli. Right? Hey, umesema something very 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 important. Na nadhani katika hiyo swala la kujihusisha pia ni vizuri vijana kuelewa ya kwamba tunapoongelea mambo na wewe kufanya kazi na kutumia talanta ambayo uko nayo, haijalishi wewe unapenda nini. Kwa mfano, unapata vijana wengi sasa hivi wamejihusisha katika mambo ya unapata makeup, unapata kuna vijana ambao wanafanya makucha kwa wanawake, kuna wanawake ambao ni mafundi. Isikuzuie wewe kufanya ile ambalo unapenda kufanya kwa sababu labda community inaona wewe kufanya hivi ama haijakuwa ikifanya hivyo. Like that has not been the norm of you working under this condition ama working in that aspect or that area. So as long as you have the talent and you've been given opportunity, it is up to us as the youth to grasp the opportunities and to go for it. So I don't know how you tend to, to come in as a person who empowers this youth when they have such complaints where they want to do something, but the community is like, no, you can't do that. As a man, you can't do that. And as a woman, that is not for you. How do you, if a young person comes to you and tells you, yes, I know I have the opportunity, yes, there is these things that I need to do, and I love it, but with my community, with where I'm coming from, with my religion, I'm not supposed to do that. How do you, handle such cases?
We don't choose our backgrounds. We don't choose our current situation. Mi husema, for those that are writing, pens up, notebooks ready. Accidents are acceptable.
Yes.
Accidents are understandable. But the bill of arrogance and ignorance is a painful bill to pay, and it is very expensive.
Yes.
So yes, you are born and raised in a poor background, but who told you can't make it in life? Yes, you failed in your exams. These are what I call accidents now.
Yeah.
You fail in your exams. You were born in a poor background. You have 1, 2, 3 challenges. But does that limit you from making the change that you want to see in your life?
Okay.
Does that limit you from exploring the opportunities that are there for you to explore and make a difference within your community and your society? Sometimes we think we are denied things, but I tend to think saa zingine ni sisi wenyewe tunajinyima hizi vitu. Because the opportunities are there. The chances are there for you to make a difference. But why are you waiting for someone to come to knock on your door and give you something that has already been perfected? Yet God has instilled in you the mandate to work on something and perfect that particular thing and become the author of whatever God has gifted you. Unajua, I was talking to some group of young boys jana before the iftar Swahili pod.
Okay.
And I gave them I asked randomly, if I had 100,000 and a diploma course costs 100,000, will you want this 100,000 to pay for the diploma course, or will you want this 100,000 to start up a business? The majority of the youths that I was talking to in that platform were saying, I will definitely start a business. Money is everything. And they had the right to say that, and they were all okay to say it because watu wanaona, if it all works, the business will grow from 100,000 business to 1 million.
To 1 million.
But yes. I gave them this question. Let's say everyone succeeds. The one who went for the diploma course excels, alienda akapita mtihani, akaandikwa kazi, akasucceed in life. Huyo 100,000 pia business, alifungua biashara, ikakuwa successful, akaanzisha biashara zingine na akakuwa a billionaire. If you want to elect a president, who will be elected? Because huyu wa biashara hana makaratasi. Huyu alienda akasoma, eventually akakuja akasucceed pia na kona papers. So the main information, the main message was, work on your papers first before you get the papers.
Okay, repeat that again.
Work on your papers first before getting the papers. The papers, ya kwanza ni elimu. Work on your papers. Have them well documented. Your certificate, your degree, your diploma, your PhD, your master, have them well documented. Then these other papers, which is money, will come in later. Because we have people, why did, sorry for using his name, the current MP Walangata, Jalas, why did he, with all the influence and the money he had, why did he have to go for a degree? Because that paper is more important than the papers in his bank account. So youth sahi, msiseme ati masomo hailipi, hakuna haja ya kusoma. There is an importance as to why you need to go back and understand the 4 corners of a classroom, make good use of that time in that class, capacity build on yourself. One thing, that is if the two would have been successful. Sindio? Let's say in a short term, huyu alianza biashara, ikakuwa successful, 5 years down the line, ikafeli. Huyu alienda akasoma, akapita mtihani lakini hakupata kazi. Do you know, huyo biashara, the only history he has is the story of the business he had. Lakini huyu mwingine ako na ile karatasi. So any day, anytime, huyo karatasi anaweza jumpstart maisha yake na kusema, I can easily be employed. Because when someone comes in, I want to employ someone, hata kama ni something that does not really need the papers. But the CV of this individual speaks and says, this guy went to school. This guy knows 1, 2, 3. Huyu mwingine aliwahi kuwa tu na biashara, but did nothing with his life. So who is in a better place? Who is in a better position to be hired?
Yeah, I get you. And there is so much debate on that where people say, oh, you know, especially in Kenya, pesa kwanza, hizi makaratasi zitangoja. But and also not just to discredit those people who choose money, but it's okay as long as you start the business, and if you are successful, if you get to be successful, you know, also use the success that you have to go back to school, just like you give an example of this MP. Go back to school, because you never know tomorrow what may come, you know, and sometimes you just miss a small opportunity because you didn't finish your school. Just a small opportunity that doesn't even make sense, but the requirement is just you having a paper, a certificate, just a certificate, you know. And so as much as we are running for these things, we also need to go to school, because I have seen so many musicians and so many successful people, you know, succeeding and saying, okay, I really need to go back to school because it's required out there. But you know, some people do say, ukipata papers, you're not asked for papers. When you don't have papers, you're asked for papers. So what do? Just be on the safe side and have papers. You know, it's better to have them and not being asked than not to have it and being asked. Yeah.
It's never a loss investing in education. It's never a loss. And karatasi haiozi. Pesa huisha. Pesa huisha. Yes, we all want money, but we need to know who we are, what we want, where we are headed, and getting rich is not the goal.
It's not.
Becoming wealthy is the goal.
Being financially stable is the goal.
Exactly. And for that financial stability, you need to have shock absorbers within your environment. And having papers, having these qualifications are shock absorbers to when something happens to you, when something happens to your employment, when something happens to your business. When you're having your papers right, you can easily bounce back to the industry and make it in life, rather than someone who made it in life, had a lot of money, but one wrong investment and you're down the drain.
Yeah.
One wrong investment and you're far much gone.
Yeah.
We've seen sportsmen, big footballers, they had a lot of money, but since they never saw the value of education, where are they?
Yeah, so education is key. That's what I'm getting from whatever you're saying. Wewe kama B, sasa wewe kama Mr. B, Mr. Brian Bii,
Yes.
Ni nini hiyo ambayo ungetaka community at large, you know, the community like when you sit down and think about it, it comes in your mind where you say, I wish the community helped in this way. I wish the community wangechangia kiasi hichi kwa mambo ambayo unayafanya. So I just want you to have a call in the community or anybody around youth, and that is, let me just say, the whole community, right? Ni nini ambao ungetaka wafanye ama ungetamani wawe wanachangia katika masuala haya, empowering of the youth and whatever you do as a whole?
Mimi kama Bii naweza anza na kusema hivi. Yale majanga ambayo yanatukumba sasa hivi hayajatengwa na sisi ama hayajaundwa na sisi wakati huu. Yalianza hapo jadi tukiwa bado tungali wadogo.
Yeah.
Na ya maana ama ya msingi ni wazazi wa karne hii ni wajifunze kufanya malezi mema.
Sawa. Okay.
Maadili mema ndio ambayo yatatusaidia sisi kuwa na miundo msingi ya kuelimisha vijana na kuwakuza watoto wetu wawe ni watu ambao wanajitambua
kabisa,
wanajielewa na wana maono makuu juu ya maisha yao. Bila maadili mema ndani ya wale ambao wanakuwa nyuma yetu na sisi ambao tayari tushakuwa, basi tunakoelekea ni babaya. Samaki mkunja ngali mbichi. Because right now, dealing with the youths that are already grown-ups, dealing with the youths that have already tested and enjoyed the influence money has on their lives, is difficult. People are so used to comfort zones that they don't want to move. They don't want to toil. And if, and I'm saying if in capital letters, if their parents had instilled the right knowledge, the right moral values that one human being needs to have as he or she grows up, this particular person would grow up knowing who she is or who he is, what he wants in life, and what is expected for him or her to do to make sure that they are living a better life. Because with the great upbringing, with the great growth of the youths, of the children that we are raising and siring, we have a better future. We have greater individuals, greater generations, people who are ready to impact and make the world a better place. Unajua kama saa hii mimi ile mbegu ya mti ambayo ninapanda ni kivuli ya wale vijana ambao wako nyuma yangu. Na hii the seed that I'm planting right now will give birth to a tree that will offer shade for the youth that are behind me.
100%.
So what I'm praying for is to have a youthful team that will help me take care of this seed grow. So that when the incoming generation comes, they will have an understanding that the youths that were ahead of us did this for us. And so they will have to do more for the other incoming generation.
Yes.
But if we are blind to the fact that we are here to make the world a better place, then we won't do anything for the incoming generation. We will just be focused on ourselves, selfish interests, and we will leave this world a worse place.
Yeah. That is from Brian Bii himself, and I think I agree 100% with that. That we need as parents to take responsibility of our children as much as they're going to school, as much as we are not staying with them for the longest time of the year. It is our responsibility to make sure that they are doing the right thing, and because nobody asked you to bring any human being to the world. Even if it was an accident, it's your responsibility as a parent to make sure that this child is coming up in a very good way. Sometimes I know that you might try your best, but you know the environment isn't conducive. But if we just try a little bit harder, I think things are going to be great. And we have 5 minutes remaining for that we have on the show, just to wrap up and have your last word. You say that the parents, the community needs to work together to make sure that youth are being empowered. But just the last word for around 2 minutes to advise the young people. We know that as the community, we need to stand with them. We need to support them. But what advice do you give them as youth? Because it's their life. You cannot be blaming people for the rest of your life. My mom used to say this, that yes, I did wrong to you. I did not take you to school. I did not give you whatever you wanted. But this is my life. I have finished my part. It is your part now to play. And at the end of the day, it's true, because if you continue looking at whatever your parents didn't do, whatever your teacher didn't do, you'll waste your life, because for them it's gone. They are growing old and time is not coming back. So we need to take responsibility into our hands. So what advice for the next 3 minutes or 2 minutes will you give to the youth concerning their empowerment?
Thank you so much again for having me for this talk show. And I will end in few keywords. But I would like to have this disclaimer to those that are listening. I'm speaking not as the monotony of wisdom, but I'm speaking at a point of the grace that God has granted me to be able to be impactful to the lives of those that have lended me their ears and hearts to understand the depth of why we are giving ourselves wholeheartedly to the community to make a change. And I will start by saying this. Education is an inoculation against ignorance. I repeat, education is an inoculation against ignorance. And nikiongelea education, I'm not generally based on mathematics, history, biology, physics, maths, English. Education is broad. And it's an inoculation against ignorance, meaning we cannot be ignorant of the fact that we are alive, of the fact that, yes, everyone wants to have a good lifestyle, but let us not be ignorant to the society. When you're a young man and you're living life, watu wanasema YOLO, living large, walking in the streets drunk, dilly-dallying with your steps, I want you to think of that parent who is trying to raise a child who are seated outside that veranda and they are all looking at you. Then this child asks the father or the mother, Daddy, naweza kuwa kama yule? What kind of an answer is this parent giving to the child when you are recklessly drunk walking down the street? For our young girls and our women, look at yourself. Yes, your dress, your choice. But look at yourself dressed half naked, walking within the village, within your community. And there is this other woman, a God-fearing woman, who is trying to raise the kid upright. Then the child sees you and asks the mother, can I be like that woman? Think of those parents and think of the answers they are giving to their kids. And now you might say, I'm not harming anyone, I'm enjoying my life, I'm living my life. But indirectly, you're making it hard for parents who want to give an upbringing to their children the chance to implement and impact the right moral values in the lives of their children. So let us think of that. Let us not be ignorant to the fact that whatever we do, whatever we say, whatever our actions are, there are people watching and there are people asking questions. So vindicate yourself. Guilticize yourself and ask yourselves on a daily basis. Is what I'm saying right? Is what I'm doing okay? Is how I'm acting okay? Once you vindicate yourself and ask yourself these questions, you'll find yourself at a point of making correct decisions and living a better life and making it easier for the people around you to also coexist.